That being said, there's somebody that knows Jack pretty well, and I've only been here for 5 years. So I do have some Jack stories, but not a lot. Jack was the last guy I played golf with, so Jack's got, and that was a while back. I am not a golfer. Jack could tell some stories about me, too. But anyway, with that, I'd like to ask John Ozmun to come up and share a couple of words of wisdom about Jack.
I'm really pleased to have been asked to accept on Jack's behalf, and I wrote down 3 or 4 short groups of words that I thought would help me capture for you the Jack Dustman that I knew. Now, and I'll come back to golf, but there's the old adage that you can know a person all your life, but until you play 18 holes of golf with them, you really don't know them. And I've played probably 300 rounds of golf with Jack Dustman. So, my first remembrance of Jack is capsulized by now you see him, now you don't, now you see him again. I came in 1974, and for the first couple of years that I was on the faculty here, I was with Jack Dustman. And I knew him a little bit, and then he was gone. And I asked, where did Jack go? They said, well, he went to greener pastures. He went to California to teach at, I believe, California Lutheran. I'm not exactly sure on that, but he was gone. And I thought, well, I'll never see Jack again, and forgot about him. And then one day, I was an assistant dean for Frank Besnet, who was here a little earlier and chatted with everyone, I hope. And he was the dean of the college for most of my time as a faculty member. And Frank called me in and he said, I just got a call from President Walkup. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, we're getting a new position in management. I said, great. He said, we're filling it with Jack Dustman. I said, Jack left. He said, yeah, Jack left, but Jack knew how to come back. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he didn't call me. He didn't send me a letter. He went straight to the source. He went to Lawrence and Lucy Walkup and told them he wanted to come back and he was sorry he ever left and he would never leave again. 41 years. So he did. I'm sure, let's see, that had to be about 1978. Do the math, 38 years of those 41, I guess, happened after he came back. So true to his word, Jack didn't leave. Another experience, and this is a general one, most of the faculty here and most of the students, we have a few students here, probably were entertained at one time or another by the Eddie Duchin style Jack Dustman piano. He could walk up to a piano, sit down, and start playing and play for an hour. And it was just wonderful piano entertainment. He played at our scholarship breakfast. He played the afternoon that my retirement party was held. Jack was a really good musician. The overarching thought that I have, the experience that I carry about Jack Dustman is there was always so much more to him than he wanted to let you know. He, I call it natural incredulity. He was so self-effacing in the stories he told about himself, about his family, about any accomplishment that he had. It was so laid back that you really didn't know. I didn't know he was a musician, and a very good one. So anyway, Jack liked to undersell himself, would be another way to put it. About golf, Jack had an idea that you should never hit practice balls. I said, Jack, why? Why don't we go hit some practice balls?
Or even swing.
Or swing, right. And no practice swings. Right. If you were talking to somebody in the foursome, you were probably interrupting Jack's swing because he was already up there hitting the ball, but he hit it with a big slice. So, Jack, if you'll come to the practice range, I can help you with that slice. No, I said, I don't hit practice balls. I figure every practice shot is one that you have to subtract off of the end when you're getting older and older. It's one shot that you'll never get to hit when you're playing, so I'm not going to hit any practice balls. And that was the truth of it. Finally, and this is a story Jack liked to tell about himself. It's under the category of lucky guess, Jack. He'd say, yeah, lucky guess. He said, you know, when I was coming up through grade school, teachers never thought that I knew anything. He said, my mother and father never thought that I knew anything. They thought I was a failure when I became a college professor. I wasn't doing anything with my life. And he said, it goes back to when I was in grade school. The teacher would ask a question to the class, and she'd like something like, what's 8 plus 8? And hands would go up, and somebody would say 14, and somebody would say 17, and Jack would hold his hand up, and she'd say, okay, Jack. He'd say, 8 plus 8 equals 16, ma'am. She'd say, lucky guess, Jack. So that was Jack Dustman, very, very much the undersold faculty member. And I know the students will miss him. I know that as faculty members, Neil and I taught with him and will miss him. And one great guy. And I'm sorry he's not here tonight to accept his own. Thank you for letting me come and represent him. I'd like to have somebody put that over me. Take a picture. Take a picture. Come on.
We have this that we will ensure that Jack receives.